The most important thing when people ask me, hey, they say, Mike, I'm thinking of starting my own company. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm trying to figure out what area should I focus in. What is the key takeaway? What should I be thinking about as I'm thinking of creating my own company? I tell people, what the most important thing is? You better pick something you're passionate about. It needs to be something that you care about. It needs to be something that you're focused on, something that you want to be an expert, something that you want to live. Because doing a startup is doing something all of the time. I explain to people, I get up first thing in the morning before I'm out of bed. I'm checking my emails and responding. When I'm in the shower, I'm putting together my to-do list. As soon as I get out of the shower, I send a few more emails. I get ready in the morning. I run out the door. I put my earphones in. I'm on the calls on the way into the office. When I get to the office, I have a breakfast meeting. I meet someone for coffee. I then do work and have meetings. I have my first lunch, a second lunch. I might even have then a third lunch meeting. I'm working all day. Then I go to dinner, and then I go to drinks after dinner. Then sometimes I have yet another dinner. Then I go home, see the kids, see the wife, family. Then I log back online and I work. One, that's why I've gained a lot of weight. Two, it is just something that ends up being all-encompassing. So it better be something you care about and better be something you're passionate about. But it better be something you're passionate about even if others aren't. When we started Blackboard, it was fascinating. We went around early on to a bunch of venture capitalists who were trying to raise capital, and one of them called us back after a couple of days and said, hey, listen, we really like you guys. You guys have great traction. You have some good momentum. So we called up a couple of colleges, local ones. We called up just a few of the top schools right here in town. We called 5 schools up. And we said, hey, would you use technology to put your courses online? And they all said no. They said, our teachers are Luddite professors. They're not going to use technology to put teaching and learning online. And the students aren't asking for it at all. We are not interested. So right in the beginning, here I am passionate of how the internet is going to change education. And yet the schools themselves are saying this isn't software they would buy. And that didn't change as Blackboard continued to actually get adoption and be bigger. One of the great things about being CEO of the company was I would get emails from clients directly. I got this email. It was sent to CEO@blackboard.com from Dr. Betty Schiffman. The subject, Blackboard Learn Release 9.1 feedback. And she wrote me, she said, to the CEO, I found Blackboard Learn Release 9.1 to be easier to work with, much more intuitive. I think there's a perception that managing an online course takes a lot of work, but the reality is that instructors become so much more efficient. We now have the tools to help us manage assignments, grading, tests, etc. Signed, Dr. Betty Schiffman, Associate Professor of English, Jefferson Community Technical College. And you know what? That's the reason why we started this company. We wanted to have software that teachers felt could actually improve the way that they're connecting with the students and making a difference. So of course, when I get letters like that makes me feel great that I had chosen the right industry, that we were making a difference. But the thing is, even as a bigger, successful company, I didn't just receive letters from grateful teachers. Students sometimes themselves would send me emails, like this student who sent an email to CEO@blackboard.com. It came from blackboardsucks326@gmail.com. Subject, thanks for nothing. Dear Blackboard CEO, I feel I must tell you that your software is ruining the educational experience that students are supposed to have in college. With your built-in plagiarism detection, it's as if the teachers no longer trust the students' work. With all the tracking built into the system, the teachers can tell exactly when you have read the assignments. Thanks for helping take the fun out of college. So here we are, even years later, a larger company, and students who really are almost the primary constituency if you think about it. I mean, we would sell the software to the schools, but we have millions of students using it, saying that they are not feeling appreciated by our software. And so even this is something that, of course, I can't help but take personally. But yet we would take this feedback and say, you know what, maybe we're not developing the software enough for the students. Maybe we're not improving that student experience enough. And we take this and we help feed our passion to turn it into something positive. And in our next iteration of software, we came out with a whole slew of student tools to improve the way that they might experience the class environment. But that's why you have to be passionate about what you do, is because, especially if you're coming up with a new idea that hasn't been thought of or adopted, well, by definition, that means that other people probably don't think it's a good idea. And even when you become an established company, as this letter proves, some people don't think your software is that great. Although, I don't know what bothers me more, the fact that the student took the time to actually say that I was taking the fun out of college, or the fact that apparently Blackboard Sucks 1 through Blackboard Sucks 325 are all taken. It's also disturbing to me.